If you could have one thing, if you were on a desert island and you could pick one food to eat for the rest of the time, what would it be?
So, one food? Man,
I think that would be hard.
that would be hard. It'd have to either be quesadillas or lasagna.
Yeah. Hey, Jamal.
How we doing, G?
We're going to start our podcast finally.
I know, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think we came up with a good name. Reps and Real Talk.
Yep,
Fitness truth, one rep at a time.
I like that.
Yeah. So I think today we're just going to talk about the evolution of fitness destinations.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
I think the first thing is how you and I met, which was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been working for you for, I'm in my fifth year.
Yeah, fifth year. Fifth year officially.
Fifth year
Fifth
official.
year officially, yes.
I started off, we bartered, and I worked 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
And do you remember what the first thing you gave me to do after I was there for a couple months? Payroll.
Yeah, payroll. Yeah. Payroll, yeah. So I know that we met at another gym that I was working at.
Yeah.
And since then, I know I've trained your kids. I've trained your family.
Yeah.
And we've just become friends ever since then.
Ever since then.
And it's been very cool to see where we started to where we're at to where we're pretty much headed. Yeah.
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 It's been quite a journey.
Absolutely.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I still like you.
Hopefully it continues that way.
It's going to.
Yeah.
I tell everyone it took me 52 years to find my dream job. And I get up every morning, never complaining or not wanting to go to work. Because it's really not work.
And that means
It's just fun.
that means so much because I always want people to have as much fun as I do at work. So I obviously feel like it's a cheat code for me to come to work because I have so much fun. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, and I just feel like we're kind of, I've said this before, we're kind of yin and yang. We kind of, our strengths and weaknesses match up. And so we meld very well together. And you are the calm when I am the storm.
Yeah. Yes. You're thunder.
We both like to go down rabbit holes or squirrel. I definitely have my squirrels, but it all comes together. And
Yeah.
compared to where we started, when I kept telling you to just go find a brick and mortar place and stop going to apartments.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at building our own facility. That's huge.
Yes.
And that's been what? That's been 5 years.
5 years.
Really?
5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 6 years. Yep.
All right. So I guess the first question is, tell me why did you decide that you wanted to be a gym owner? And how did you come up with the name Fitness Destinations?
So that is a great question. I never wanted to be a gym owner, to be transparent. My biggest goal was when I was in college, I really enjoyed training. I love fitness and I just wanted to be a trainer. But as I became into an adult, what I've realized is that I haven't made enough money in some of the places that I work to be able to support the lifestyle that I want and to do the things that I want to have the flexibility that I want. So I was kind of pushed or forced, for lack of a better term, into being a boss or a CEO for a gym. And it's been a great journey.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's a learning curve because even when I started, I feel like we kind of had to learn some stuff together for how to run the gym, like processes, and we've had to change some just because we've grown and I just feel. But I also, you're so energetic and infectious, and I tell everybody when you meet Jamal, you just love him because he's just a good guy. Like you, and that's why you're such a good trainer. So, and I know you miss training, but you're also a great gym owner. Like I feel like you've learned so much from my viewpoint of how long I've worked.
Yeah.
And we've learned a lot together.
Yeah, we have. I know from when you first started, what I've learned has been almost exponentially unfathomable, to where we are now. And I think a lot of that is because I've been in an environment where it is okay to learn, and
Yeah.
I think you guys make it okay for us to make mistakes. When I say us, I mean myself, to make mistakes, and it's just been a huge learning curve. One thing I've learned about, and what some of my mentors have told me about entrepreneurship, is that it's like jumping off of a cliff and then assembling your parachute on the way down, and that's what it's felt like.
Do you feel like that some days?
I feel like that a lot. Yeah.
Well, remember when I first started, I didn't, even know what an Instagram story was,
Yep.
and now I can do CapCut and make my own reels.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell everybody, I'll never get dementia or Alzheimer's because I learn something every single day.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of it, because when you first started, to not even knowing what an Instagram story was or how to use it,
Yeah,
to now helping designing our websites, I think is crazy.
yeah.
And then for me to be doing things on my own, to now having a full staff, is pretty amazing as well.
Yeah, and I feel like we've gotten to a point where we do have such a good group of people that work with us, and we're so fortunate to have amazing clients that we've been lucky enough to get organically, but you give me the autonomy to go and figure stuff out, and it's okay if I make a mistake,
Yeah.
and then we just fix it.
Yeah. It is.
Thankfully, none of my mistakes have been too bad.
What's this term? Is better to ask for forgiveness
Send permission.
than permission. Yeah.
I live by that
Yeah,
motto.
and I think that's a good way to live. Yeah.
So, officially, Fitness Destinations has been around 7
So we've had our brick and mortar for almost 7 years. Officially, we've been on paper for about 12,
Okay.
on paper, but we've had our facility for about 7.
And how did you come up with the name? I kinda remember the story, and I know that Patrice helped you with the logo, but
Yeah, it was actually, I went to a crowd. It was a crowd website where you just make logos, and I know that I wanted something that was gonna be goal oriented, but also focus on having fun at the same time.
yeah.
And the colors were red and black and white, and so I was like, let's do this. And then these people came up with all these different logos. I had about 500 to choose from, and then I personally narrowed them down to 10. And there was one with our kind of name into the logo, the F and the D.
Yeah.
And I just walked up to my wife. I said, "Which one you think is the best one?" And she said, "Go with that one." We had some good ones, because the one I like had a big gorilla on the front, and that wouldn't look
But
very,
saw that
no,
one.
yeah, that one wouldn't look good on T-shirts or anything like that. So she picked it, and I ran with it. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's a good logo.
yeah,
It's been good.
yeah.
Um, I think that we have a really great variety of clients. Um, and how would you explain who we cater to? Like, what kind of client is the best client for us to have?
That's a great question. We cater to so many different groups of people, but I think if we were to break it down into an archetype, the people that we cater to most would probably be people that take their accountability for their own health and wellness, people that enjoy being challenged and pushed, not only from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, and people that like to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, fitness and working out in this day and time is a little bit, it's a little bit weird, and I say that because there's so many things people can go to. Everyone's focused on
There's so many different gyms and so
gyms.
many different setups.
Yeah. And our biggest thing is we just want people that want to lift weights, want to work out, want to push themselves and challenge themselves and have a better quality of life.
Yeah.
And that really ranges from 80 to 8. But as far as a person,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's the person that takes accountability for their health, and that is for being pushed and challenged and it sees the value in going through a challenge, you know?
What what I think is, cool, and, I'm not an early morning person, so I don't know a lot of the 5 a.m.ers,
Yeah.
but I feel like the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Well, actually, all of our classes, they're all so close. They all have their own little group chat, and I think they really motivate and push each other, and if somebody doesn't come to class, they're good about, "Hey, I'm gonna be on vacation." So I feel that the community and the camaraderie is so tight here, and then when new people join, because 'cause we've been doing the 6-week challenge, and so we've had a lot of new people, they they just everybody welcomes them with open arms.
Yeah.
And then I think the other most fun thing that we've done is started our movement in motion
Yeah.
with our, like, golden age group of ladies. They're awesome, and I love listening to them
Yeah.
while they're doing their class
Yeah.
because it is more social for them, I feel like, but they definitely get a workout in, and that's a really great program that we started.
Yeah. And I think fitness is for everybody.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter where you're from,
Yeah.
your race, it doesn't matter really anything. Everyone should move, and I think that helps us out a lot because we are a people that's as a team is just diverse, and we want people
Right.
to move, and people see the benefit once they start.
Yeah, I feel like we don't narrow our client demographics
Yeah.
so that we can have a wide variety. Because even with starting Swing Fit, now we're trying to figure out, let's get some golfers in here and
Yeah.
do classes like that. And that was kind of really stemmed from getting the Kaiser and the fact that my husband, likes to play golf, and
Yeah.
I needed to get him in the gym. So this worked out perfect.
Yeah.
So I guess over the years, I mean, I know we've definitely evolved because, like, we have over 150 active clients today. And how many did you start with?
2. Yeah. And one was my mom. So really one. Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't paying me. So one.
So how do you think that over the years fitness destinations has evolved and grown to where we're at today? Like, what do you think is the main reason for the success of the trajectory that we're on? Because, I mean, I feel like these last 5 years has been a big change for us
Yeah.
in a positive way,
Oh yeah.
you know? I mean, we have our struggles now, but it's just change,
Yeah.
but it's good change because we're growing.
Yeah. I would say as far as evolution goes, when I first started fitness destinations, it was strictly focused on get this person to this weight, get this person to this goal body fat percentage, focus on this body composition, and nothing else really mattered. But as I've gotten older and I feel like as I've evolved into a better man, one thing I've realized is that we focus more on the mental side of things and training
Great.
more so from the inside out. Not so much going off of what people feel, but understanding that when people feel good, they work better. And I think that's helped us evolve, and that's also helped our team because once we added the diversity of our team, it's helped us reach out to different people who have different illnesses or different things that they want to work on or focus on. So it's evolved from just being me to including you, including Jocelyn, including Gail, including Martin and Jaquan and JD and Aaron and even Jayhawk. All these people who've come and helped us to get to different places as far as our athletes. And then now our golden age group of ladies who are over 50, 60 years old. And then our younger sports performance
Right.
phases, 10 and 11 years old. So the evolution has been us looking from the picture of a bigger picture of what not just fitness is, but what life is and how to go through life in a happier state, in a more qualitative state as well.
Yeah, because I feel like even me just sitting at my desk, like one of the clients after class, he came and he was like, "Do you have a minute to talk?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then, I have another client who's just going through menopause, and so she and I commiserate together, and
Yeah.
so I do feel like we have such a personal level with so many of our clients, and so we know when they don't come or,
Yeah.
they feel comfortable to kinda talk on a personal level that maybe you wouldn't normally talk to somebody at the gym about it, but because of our environment is so relaxed and engaging and people are like, "Hey, do you have a minute to talk?"
Yeah.
I mean, and not that we're to the therapy level, but I do feel like we have such a broad range of education that we have great information to give out to our clients.
Yeah.
And so I see that because, most of the time I'm just sitting at my desk just as an observer. So I get to see the craziness and
Yeah.
the communication. And I'm a pretty good people reader. But yeah, just I feel like can, we just take it to the next level.
Yeah.
It's just not coming in and lifting weights, like you said. Because even, now we're doing the, the journal, the food journal log your food. How did you feel today? All that kind of good stuff. And I think that makes a big difference. Getting them doing the my zone and we want to see how hard you're working in class or if you're not working really hard.
Yeah.
So we have another level of information that we can see, are you working at your peak performance?
Oh, yeah.
So I think that says a lot to
Yeah.
where we're at as a gym.
And it's only gonna get better because
For
I would
sure.
love to step into the space of this wellness space as well,
Yeah.
with these cold plunges, saunas, things like that. That's something I would love to step into because I think that adds another piece of value for people and clients that are looking to seek more and longevity out of life.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of a big thing right now too, but it is important to just, okay, we're gonna exercise, but now we need to replenish, recharge your body. So,
Yeah.
kind of move from one phase to the next, and
Mhm.
so your whole body is like we're starting yoga back up again, so people can come and I need to stretch out my muscles, or I just want to lay down when I come to the gym. So we're able to do that, which is great. I mean, even like we're doing our own supplements now.
Yeah.
You found when did we start that? Like 6, 7 months ago?
Yeah, this about this past summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool because you get to decide what we put into our supplements.
Yeah.
So it's not full of junk
Yeah.
and they're clean.
Yeah.
So getting the people on that, I mean, yeah, I think that's great. So I mean, I think that's kind of the biggest change, just how far we've grown and where we're going. And what what do you think your biggest accomplishment at Fitness Destination has been?
Me personally?
Yeah, like overall.
Yeah, so for me, my biggest I would say the thing I'm the most proud of right now about myself is managing a team of people. That has been great for me because I've been a part of so many teams, either past workplaces and other things with school and all kind of things where the leader or the teams have not been cohesive. It
Right.
hasn't worked well. So I'm very proud of being able to manage a team with people who help me manage a team as well. Because I think by far that's the most important thing for us as a fitness center to be together in one fluid motion. Because without the team, nothing works.
Right.
So I think that's my biggest accomplishment and the thing that I'm most proud of, because as we grow, I know and foresee that being even harder to manage because we have our sacred,
Agree. Yeah.
our group of people,
Yeah.
and from all different ages. I mean, we got people in their 60s, 50s, 20s, and to be able to all work together in one cohesive environment where we respect one another, we trust one another, we listen to one another, to me is very, very important. And I think that bleeds into our culture at fitness
Right.
destinations. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree because I feel like I mean, especially obviously you and I, our relationship is rock solid, but
Yeah.
I think because of that, our relationship
Mhm.
and the example that we set kinda sets the bar for where
Totally.
the rest of the team needs to be, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you and I are kind of on the same wavelength
Mhm.
as far as working and ethic wise and just where we wanna see the gym, you know? Um, I mean, my vested interest is making you successful
Yeah.
and me having fun, and that's what we're doing right now.
And my
So
interest is keeping you as long as I can. So keeping you happy.
well, thankfully, you're really nice and you let me go on vacation when I go on vacation, and we know when the breaking point is. I can't be gone more than 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, no. Mm-mm,
Mhm.
mm-mm. Um, what do you think's the hardest what was the biggest struggle in starting the gym and then now now for we're at this level of succession. What's gonna be the next hurdle?
Oh, yeah. The hardest thing for me when starting the gym is that I didn't know anyone at the time who had really had a gym that was willing to give up the information. So I didn't have a lot of information. And I think me getting information was the hardest thing.
Right.
And then me
And how
paying.
so, like, kinda just making decisions on the fly, even though
Yeah.
you didn't really have a good mentor to talk to.
Well, I think, yeah. So when I started training, I just wanted to be a trainer. I was just in love with training, making people feel better. But then when you start running a gym, there's so many other things that come up that you don't quite expect.
That's where Gretchen came in.
Yeah, yeah, that's where you came in.
That's when I came
And
in.
that's when it's like, oh man, I owe $20,000 in taxes, or and dealing with taxes and then dealing with a team. I should probably have a handbook, employee handbook to do this.
We did, yeah, we
Have it
have many of that.
systems. And so for me, it was finding people and actually paying people for information
Right.
to help me get to a part where I am not just a trainer for myself. I need to develop a team and getting to that point of developing a team because building systems was not my strong suit.
Right.
Dealing with conflict was not my strong suit at the time. And just going against the grain,
Yeah.
and getting out of my environment of people who are no sayers and people who are just negative Nancy's about this and that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say there's one thing. I would say there's a cumulative effect because one thing that I've realized as an entrepreneur and as a owner is that hardly anyone comes to you with good news. When they normally come to you, it's either something's broken down, something has needs fixing, something needs to become better. And
That's true.
you have to be your biggest cheerleader for yourself because it can be lonely at times when you don't know anyone that's kind of in the same boat as
Right.
you and going through the same struggles as you. And some people just don't understand.
Yeah.
So I think that was my biggest struggle to become my own cheerleader in those.
Well, especially back in the days, because yeah, I mean, it really you were by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember me saying, "Go get that spot. We'll come we'll all come paint. You just need to get a spot."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I stayed on you
You did. You did.
until you got a spot.
Yeah. You did. You and Patrice were probably the two biggest factors of me getting my spot because I know if I was going to train your kids,
Yeah.
then I was going to hear you say, where's the spot? When are you getting your
Then
location?
that's what I did.
And that was like, I did not want to hear that anymore. So I was like, let me just get the spot.
Let me just find it.
Yeah.
So what do you think our next biggest hurdle is?
Our biggest,
Obviously, we're looking at, our own facility, but
yeah. So I think from an operational standpoint, our biggest hurdle is going to be building our space and figuring out that. And normally that's going to be like a funding thing that we got to deal with, and it's going to be a stressful because I know things are not going to go as I planned it or
right.
as we planned it. But I think that's gonna be the biggest from an operational standpoint. From a mental standpoint, it is gonna be keeping our culture as we grow to be this fun,
Yeah.
loving, because as you grow, people want to be a part of things that grow. And it's really gonna be us protecting our own energy and protecting our brand and our culture because as you get bigger, as you go wider, it's so much harder to keep people
Well,
who are
yeah, that's what
honest.
I mean, my biggest fear is that we're gonna get to a point because I feel we are so good at staying on top of everything and everyone that I don't wanna get to that point where stuff starts falling through the cracks.
Yeah.
Like forgetting to charge somebody this or I didn't respond to that text message when I said I would.
Yeah.
Those are little things, but I don't that's my biggest fear. I don't want it to get to that point where we're dropping the ball
Yeah.
to the point that it starts to hurt us.
Yeah. Because I think our biggest thing for us will be we've been so I would be lying if I say that everything that's happened I planned exactly. That would be a lot. A lot of our staff and our team has just fallen into our lap. Like you fallen right into our lap.
Yeah.
Jocelyn's fallen right into our lap. Martin, JD, everyone has kind of fallen
Yeah.
into our lap as far as being great people as trainers. My biggest fear is that we grow and then we get people who are not as invested in the people as we are right now. And that's the thing I think is going to be the biggest challenge protecting that for our brand as
Yeah,
we continue to grow.
for
Because
sure.
I honestly think there's no one out there like us when it comes to people that care, but also people that push, and also people that live exactly the way that they talk as well. It's very challenging to find trainers that are not always out drinking and partying with their,
Yeah.
with their clients. I'm not saying that you can't have a drink, but you do have an obligation to keep your body in a fit
Yeah,
state.
for sure.
But also people that genuinely care about the person that they're training. Like we've been to people's weddings, I've been to some people's funerals. I mean, we've been to
Right.
people's baby showers, and all these things are part of life. So we want people that care just as much about them as their family.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Because I tell people all the time, the only there are two reasons why we lose clients.
yeah.
One is they moved,
Mhm.
and two, it just becomes a financial issue. But other than that, nobody leaves. They all stay. And I feel we have such a great community sense that we do the community because even now we do, the out of the gym community things that we've done, and those have been super successful, and
Yeah.
everybody likes them, and it gives everybody a chance to meet different people because the 5 a.m. people don't ever know the 6 p.m. people.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't. So I feel like we do a really good job of trying to engage all of our clients to be together and meet and do fun things like that.
Okay.
So, and I think that's only gonna get we'll have to do it more often.
Yeah.
'Cause every time we do it, everybody loves it,
R
right?
yeah, and people like to the thing I see the trends going, people love community. So as we grow, it just be better for us to continue to do those events like the breast cancer 5K, the
Yeah.
bowling, the volleyball, the kickball, all of those things people enjoy to do. So
Yeah, even our holiday party has always been successful.
yeah.
We're just not doing it at Christmas anymore.
No.
It's
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Um, so this is our first podcast, and
Yeah.
really it was our goal today was just for you and I to sit down and kind of go over the evolution of fitness destinations.
Yeah.
Um, because you and I have been trying to get this started for a year and a half.
For a long time. Yeah.
So it's like finally we are doing it.
Yeah.
And also, I don't like to be in front of the camera. So
Yeah.
this is a big
This is
leap.
big.
This is a big leap for me.
Yeah. And with this being our very first podcast, I think that this is going to be great because what our name is, Reps and Real Talk, we're really going to be talking about the truth in fitness and how it relates to what real life is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a cookie cutter method or the no sugary stuff, what we're doing.
Right.
It's going to be dry to the point. What our biggest struggles is, I mean, we're going to be transparent with one
Yeah.
another. But I think it's important that the world sees the truth when it comes to fitness because there's so many conflicting evidence, conflicting notions of what
And it
people say.
changes every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, and social media, it's like, what do you even believe anymore?
Yeah. So I think in a world where AI is taking control and you don't know what's real, I think the world needs this to be real because we're in a state where nothing is really real anymore. So
Yeah.
let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best goal
Yeah.
of this podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have guests.
Mm-hmm.
We might do roundtables. It might be you and me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do maybe some cooking stuff. So I think it's gonna be a real encompassing. Stay in the fitness realm,
Yeah.
but let's cover all topics, not about just how to do a burpee
Yeah.
or how to figure out how to do a pull up. That's not what we want to do.
Oh, yeah. No, we're talking about total health.
Total health and yeah, and real world things that you can do to make yourself a better human being
Yeah.
at all levels, not just with fitness.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I think this went pretty good.
I think you did a great job. You're great.
I think that's good.